How much does it hurt the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out?
It is devastating to the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is.
I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion.
But the WNBA is in big trouble with money. They are watching everything fall apart, and they can't do anything to stop it. It's all happening because Caitlin Clark is not playing on the court. This shows again that the league has not learned how to take care of their most important player. She is the one who brought them out of the shadows and into the light. This is the story of how the league keeps making the same big mistake, while the one player who helped them the most is hurt and sitting out. Because they don't want to see the truth, they are losing millions of dollars every single day.
And the truth is the truth, and the data is there. And what we saw when Caitlin was out the last time, the 5 games that she missed earlier in the season, the WNBA's viewership dropped more than 50%.
These days, people care more about fake drama and online fights. Because of that, real facts are hard to find. Just like it's hard to find a WNBA game that's full of fans when Caitlin Clark isn't playing. When Clark hurt her leg on May 24th, everyone finally saw the truth. The whole league depends on just one player. Now that she's hurt again, this time with pain in her hip, and no one knows when she'll be back. We are watching the same thing happen all over again.
Injury jumped to her groin likely because of compensation. But the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it.
When Caitlin Clark stopped playing, way fewer people watch WNBA games on TV. The number of viewers dropped by a huge 55%. Games with the Indiana Fever, Caitlin's team, also saw a big drop. From 1.81 million people watching when she played, to only 847,000 people watching when she didn't. But now this story gets really silly. And by silly, we mean it's a big disaster. For a league that just keeps making the same mistakes and never learns anything from them.
Went down. The WNBA ratings have dropped over 55%.
Yikes.
Across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
The league is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark. She is the WNBA, guys.
Sidelined with a left quad strain May 24th. National TV viewership has plunged since then 55%. Before the injury, the Fever, her team, were averaging 1.81 million viewers, almost 2 million. Since her injury, fewer than 850,000.
While Caitlin Clark was doing what she does best, filling up stadiums, breaking TV records, and making more money for the WNBA than ever before. The WNBA was doing what they always do. Nothing at all to keep her safe. Even though Caitlin is the one player who brings in over 26% of all the money in the whole league, they still let other players hurt her on the court, without any punishment. And instead of stopping it, the league just talks and gives boring speeches about basketball plays.
News is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark and how they have treated her.
What's really interesting, and also really frustrating, is that this same thing has happened before. But the WNBA still can't seem to learn from its own past. This isn't the first time their best player got hurt. And then the league lost viewers and money. It's like watching someone touch a hot stove, get burned, and then touch it again right away, while saying, "I didn't know that would happen."
Really concerning about this is the fact that we are only a month into the regular season and Caitlin Clark has already been out with 2 injuries. With the first one being her having to miss some time with a left quad strain. Now, of course, this is concerning because if you're already on your second injury, you don't want to be that player that is always hurt. Cough, cough, Embiid, cough, cough, Anthony Davis. So I really do hope that the Fever really sits her out right now for a while, only because you don't want her to have more long-term injuries and be more prone.
If you are enjoying this, please subscribe. The money problems have happened very fast and are very bad. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games have dropped by 71%. Some tickets that used to cost $860 now only cost $250. On average, ticket prices for games Caitlin Clark missed went down from $1,370 to just $80. This big drop shows clearly who really makes people interested in the league. Games played on the road were moved to bigger arenas because so many people wanted to see Caitlin Clark. But now, those arenas are empty and struggling to fill seats. One big game, Chicago Sky vs. Fever, was supposed to be very exciting and popular. Before, tickets cost $210, but now they only cost $95. That same game used to get 25 million people watching on TV, one of the most watched WNBA games ever. But without Caitlin Clark, it's just another game that many fans don't want to watch.
Man, bruh. Congratulations to the WNBA. Your ratings are going to drop by 55 to 60% once again. I believe the WNBA have successfully broken Caitlin Clark.
Christine Brennan is an experienced sports writer. She is writing a new book called On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports. In her book, she talks about how the WNBA is not doing a good job protecting their best player. Christine has been very open about her worries with how the WNBA treats Caitlin Clark. She said the league keeps failing to do the right thing. After Caitlin was hurt by other players again, Christine wrote, "People are watching more than ever, and this is what they see." Christine's words go straight to the main problem. The league knows from their own data that Caitlin Clark brings in more than half of all the TV viewers. But the league still lets other players hit her hard and unfairly, just to scare her. This makes no sense. It's like a restaurant owner letting customers be mean to the chef. And that chef is the only reason people come to eat there.
As big a deal as Tiger was in men's golf, Keith, he did, and when he was gone, it affected the ratings, but nothing like that. And, Michael Jordan being out, maybe a 5 percentage points or something. Nothing like this. You can make a strong case, and I will make that case, and have that there is no one single athlete more important to his or her sport or tour, or whatever the circuit is that they play on, than Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA.
This pattern has become easy to see, and it makes people angry. Caitlin Clark gets hit hard by players who want to make a point instead of just playing basketball. Out of the 30 big fouls called in 2024, 5 were against Caitlin. The Chicago Sky team is responsible for 80% of those fouls against her. When Caitlin fights back, people say she is too rough. But when she doesn't fight back, they say she is weak. No matter what she does, she gets blamed. This is a problem the league made, but they won't fix it. At the same time, the money problems keep getting worse, not just for the Fever team, but for the whole WNBA. The league was already expected to lose $50 million this year, even though Caitlin helped make it popular. Without her playing, those losses are getting bigger fast. TV ratings are dropping, people are buying fewer things with WNBA logos, and fewer fans are going to games, just like before Caitlin played.
I don't even know where to begin, man. I hope Caitlin Clark is okay. I want to know when this injury even happened, bro, because let's be serious here. She has the quad injury. Mind you, Caitlin Clark hadn't missed a game since she was like 19 years old, since she was like 18 in college or something. Now she has a groin injury. We've never seen Caitlin Clark play as bad as she played the last 3 games. Let's just be serious here. She's like 1 for 20-something on threes in the last 3. We've never seen her shoot the ball this way. I'll say that. Has she been hurt and playing through this?
The worst part about all this is that it could have been stopped. Caitlin Clark started as a humble new player. She always said nice things about her teammates and didn't try to take all the attention for herself. Even though she was only 22 years old, she handled criticism very calmly and maturely. The league could have helped her, kept her safe, and used her popularity to make women's basketball bigger. But instead, they let jealousy and small fights ruin what should have been a happy time for women's basketball. Caitlin's injury caused problems much bigger than just TV ratings and ticket sales. Big companies that gave millions of dollars because of Caitlin's success are now wondering if they made the right choice. This shows a big problem with how the WNBA acts. The league wants to be seen as a serious professional basketball group, but at the same time, it likes all the fake drama that gets attention on social media. You can't do both. Real professional leagues protect their best players and keep the game fair. But high school drama clubs just make up fights and hope people watch.
I admire about Caitlin. She's a warrior. She's tough. You hear me? Bruh, you just don't see players. You don't see female basketball players like her. I'm sorry. I haven't seen a lot of female basketball players, like I said.
If you compare the WNBA to other big sports leagues, it looks very bad and embarrassing. Can you imagine if the NBA let players try to hurt LeBron James again and again, and said it was just part of the game? The NBA would stop that right away and punish those players faster than you could say, flagrant foul. But the WNBA seems okay with letting this bad behavior keep happening, thinking that any kind of attention is good attention. Because the league doesn't protect Caitlin Clark, it has made a bad place where fans don't want to watch other WNBA games. They don't trust that the games will be fair. When your own fans say they won't watch games without your biggest star, because they don't believe the games will be fair, you have a big problem with trust. And that problem is even bigger than losing viewers or money.
Clean up. I believe the physicality and all this hacking and fouling that goes on. She getting blindsided by Marina Mabrey. I think all of this stuff is having a wear and tear and an impact. And all you guys are doing are hurting yourselves. Because the numbers are going to drop and drop and drop. And trust me, when it's time for that collective bargaining agreement, they are going to point to this and say, well, how can we give you guys all this money? What happens if she gets hurt?
What makes this even more frustrating is that the WNBA had many chances to fix things, but they failed every single time. Every time Caitlin Clark got hurt, it should have been a wake-up call for the league to set clear rules to keep players safe and the game fair. But instead, every time, the league just says the same old things about basketball plays and letting players play the game. The strange thing is, Caitlin's injury, the very thing the league should have stopped, shows clearly how important she is to the league. The 55% drop in viewers is a very big sign. But even with this clear proof, the WNBA doesn't seem to have learned its lesson. League leaders keep talking about fairness and letting players be physical, like hard fouls and dirty plays are just part of the sport. They treat normal basketball moves by Caitlin like they are big problems, but ignore the really dangerous hits she gets from others.
Because of the way they play the game, because I love the WNBA, I love the way they play the game. But we really watch it because Caitlin Clark and everybody watching. Now listen, if I keep bumping her, knocking her down, might get her a concussion, you might hurt her for real. For 2 weeks, she was done with like a hamstring. She was down. 55% of the viewership was down. She comes back the next game, it's about 3 million viewers. Now let me tell you something. Growing up in the hood, they teach you this. Always protect the money. Y'all keep hurting her and all that. She's going for a year or two. Ain't nobody gonna watch it. If nobody watches, how y'all gonna make and generate money?
The answer to this problem isn't hard, but the WNBA needs to make some tough choices about what kind of league they want to be. If they want people to take them seriously as a professional basketball league, they need to start acting like one. They must make clear rules to keep players safe and follow those rules every time. They should stop letting fake drama take attention away from real basketball. Most importantly, they need to understand that their biggest stars, especially the ones who fill the arenas and get lots of TV viewers, must be protected from being picked on and hurt just to create drama on social media. The big drop in viewers, fans at games, and money without Caitlin Clark is a strong reminder of what the WNBA was like before she came. And it will go back to that if they don't change how they do things. This season, the league had only 555,000 viewers on average without Caitlin, which is much less than last year's average of 670,000. These numbers show the league is going back to the time before Caitlin, when arenas were empty and games were not interesting to anyone except the biggest fans.
What I saw walk into the game is what the media don't see. Thousands of kids.
Wearing what, Gil?
Kids. Huh?
What were they
Caitlin
wearing?
Clark jerseys.
Were they Fever jerseys? Were they Iowa jerseys? Were they
Wherever she played. It was whatever she played.
And that's what was more impressive to me.
It did that. It wasn't just it was Caitlin in the back.
For her style of play.
But her style of play. But it wasn't adults. Right. It was parents bringing their kids and their friends. Them seats was kids filled.
Right.
And that's what they don't they don't grasp that part of it.
The saddest part about all this is that it didn't have to happen this way. If the WNBA had kept Caitlin Clark safe and helped her, they could have used her popularity to build something strong that lasts a long time. But instead, they built a house of cards, something that falls apart as soon as their biggest star stops playing. Until the WNBA learns to protect and support the players who really bring fans to the league, they will keep going through these ups and downs, where everything depends on whether one player is playing or not. The big question is, will the WNBA finally protect their golden player, Caitlin Clark? Or will they keep making the same mistakes until they lose the chance Caitlin's popularity gave them? From what we have seen so far, it doesn't look like the league is going to suddenly start making smart choices.